Henry Kissinger passed away on November 29, 2023, at his home in Connecticut at the age of 100. Born in Germany in 1923, he endured his childhood and teenage years under the persecution of the Nazis. At the age of 15 in 1938, Kissinger and his family became refugees, immigrating to the United States, where they settled. He obtained U.S. citizenship in 1943 and voluntarily enlisted in the military, returning to the German battlefield during World War II. In 1947, Kissinger received a government scholarship to study at Harvard University, where he later stayed on as a faculty member. His departure from Harvard occurred in 1969 when he joined the Nixon administration as the National Security Advisor, marking the beginning of his tenure in the White House, which lasted until 1977. Throughout the 8 years of his service spanning 2 presidential terms, Kissinger, serving as the White House's diplomatic strategist, was responsible for formulating and implementing U.S. foreign policies, shaping the diplomatic strategies of a superpower. Despite his withdrawal from politics in 1977, Kissinger remained active on the international stage, contributing with vigor and energy. Today I present to you his 2022 release, Leadership: 6 Studies in World Strategy. As a tribute to this once-in-a-century diplomatic mastermind, the book Leadership delves into Henry Kissinger's relationships with 6 world-class leaders: Charles de Gaulle, Lee Kuan Yew, Margaret Thatcher, Saddam Hussein, Konrad Adenauer, and his close ties with Richard Nixon. At the age of 99, Kissinger reminisces about his direct interactions with these 6 leaders. The book is rich in diverse content, featuring commentary on these leaders, historical context, and even some intriguing anecdotes. His assessment of each leader isn't just an objective historical account, but reflects his personal experiences and close interactions with them. This book is not merely a discussion on leadership, but also represents Kissinger's profound reflections on global transformations and the traits of leaders. The most captivating segment unexpectedly comes towards the conclusion, where Henry Kissinger discusses the formation and evolution of leadership, particularly delving into the realm of media, or, more precisely, the medium for acquiring information. This isn't Kissinger's initial criticism of social media. A few years ago, he co-authored an article with former Google CEO Eric Schmidt in The Atlantic, deliberating on how to navigate the development of artificial intelligence. In it, they nostalgically lamented the omnipresence of social media, attributing it to the loss of humanity's ability to be alone. They argued that without solitude and deep contemplation, philosophy and many shining achievements in human history would not have occurred. In his new book, Kissinger titles this section Deep Literacy and Visual Culture. He reflects on the transition of culture from oral tradition to written form, which propelled reading, writing, and knowledge, while potentially weakening oral poetry and storytelling abilities. Now, transitioning from written to visual culture marks a second transformation, yielding both gains and losses. In an era dominated by images, what do we stand to lose? Kissinger lists several aspects: erudition, learnedness, seriousness, and independent thinking. However, the most accurate depiction of these losses, according to him, is deep literacy, a term described by Adam Garfinkel as the ability to deeply engage with a longer text, predicting the author's direction and intentions. Kissinger underscores the political relevance of this deep literacy, considering it an indispensable quality for leaders. Intense reading can help leaders cultivate the mental distance from external stimuli and personalities that sustains a sense of proportion. Coupled with reflective abilities and memory training, leaders can establish a detailed and granular knowledge base, which serves as a reference point for making rational decisions. Books offer a reality that is rational, sequential, and orderly. A reality that can be mastered, or at least managed, through reflection and planning, he wrote. Reading creates a cross-generational dialogue and serves as a source of inspiration for leaders. However, as the 20th century came to a close, the monopoly of written form in human knowledge acquisition was replaced. Television entered every household, providing unprecedented entertainment coverage. Compared to textual descriptions, what is visually presented evokes emotions more powerfully. Television played a significant role in the civil rights movement in the United States. However, the cost of televisionization is evident. In front of the television, leaders' self-restraint is overshadowed by emotional expression and display. In public life, who the most important person is and what the most important topics are have been altered by this law. Following this, the era of the internet and social media arrived. Kissinger summarized 4 major trends of the internet and social media: immediacy, intensity, polarity, and conformity, trends that make it difficult for leaders to thrive compared to the written era. Despite the vast amount of information available on the internet, it doesn't necessarily make people more knowledgeable or wiser. On the contrary, with the cost of accessing information almost reduced to zero, there's no need for people to memorize information. While forgetting a few things might not seem crucial, systematically abandoning the effort to internalize information results in a shift in insight and a weakening of analytical skills. Because the value and interpretation of facts depend on context and relevance, they're highly related to a person's accumulation of knowledge and cognitive abilities. Kissinger believes that elevating facts to wisdom can only be achieved by adding the context of history and experience. Images evoke emotions more than text does, and television and social media naturally rely on this aspect, encouraging the dissemination of images that provoke strong emotions. Social media promotes expressions that appear genuine, while the television era favored meticulously crafted expressions, leaving rational analysis from the print era behind. This evolution naturally leads toward populist politics. Polarity and conformity represent the before and after stages of social media's impact on societal divisions. Social media polarizes and tribalizes people, channeling individuals into groups similar to themselves, with these groups subsequently dominating individuals' thoughts. In summary, Kissinger's conclusion is that in today's visually dominant society, a leader adept at deep thinking finds it challenging to stand out. Kissinger nostalgically penned a whole book about 6 leaders. Whether it's himself or the individuals he reminisces about, their judgments, responsibilities, interests, and struggles in specific events are all subjects of controversy. However, his discussion on what makes a great leader is neutral and profound. It incorporates his extensive personal life experiences and reflects his contemplation on the changes of the era. Looking back on their paths, he believes that when these 6 individuals were growing up, it was a time when the Western hereditary aristocracy was waning, and the middle-class elite system was rising. That generation of leaders carried remnants of the aristocratic noblesse oblige, the duty of those in high positions to fulfill societal expectations, and the practical experiences of striving up the ladder from the common elite. Peering into the future, Kissinger, who has witnessed historical upheavals, finds it hard to be optimistic. Amidst the complexities of personal and institutional, economic and political realms, he foresees a pessimistic outlook derived from the fundamental changes in human cognition brought about by technology. No wonder Lee Kuan Yew mentioned in his speech in 2000, when reflecting on observing the U.S. elections, "Winning elections has become a triumph of packaging and advertising. These methods have been so successful in America, and Europe is starting to use them too. Experts who can manipulate public opinion are in high demand. From this perspective, I doubt characters like Churchill, Roosevelt, or de Gaulle could emerge again."